Greetings everyone, here's Lodrik again, and this is my game, War in the Pacific Advanced Edition against Xargun. He is Allied Commander, and for me it is Empire of Japan. This is Scenario 1, no modifications with game version 26B. We have here now a free base in the Philippines. After I defeated the American forces at Bataan and silenced the guns, because there are normally some coastal battery guns and it makes it impossible to sweep the mines at Bataan if you don't control the hex. Here's a cruiser formation, not sure what, but my rowboat cannot find or score a hit, unluckily. South of Wellington. And here's the AP. And looks like even damage, but my submarine also failed to score here a nice hit. So my submarine fleet is so far very unlucky. I mean, I can sometimes find a ship, but the amount of ships escaping is, I would still say, too high. More dot bases. More sweeping mines, and I like to have all the mines out of Bataan and Manila as soon as possible, so that I can use the port of Manila to ship out my army groups to finish or continue my conquest of Asia. Big goal is still Java and Sumatra. And maybe operations against Australia or India. But this is still the future. This is my carrier division, source east of New Zealand, still scouting for the enemy carrier, but likely will not find anything. Recon pictures. And throwing some bombs. This is still my ground support for my retreating Japanese army. And airstrikes against the airport of Singapore, 20,000, play it safe. But the hit ratios are, in combination, 20,000 plus thunderstorms is hard to hit anything. Okay, this is, I think this is enough. I only want to make sure that there are no fort building and that the supply situation is critical in Kokong for the Chinese. My sweep, a little late. So I must still defeat this Vengeful Chinese army, around the 100th Chinese division, this elite division. The British army is split in two army groups. This is the Rangoon army. So a part was able to escape over the river and the rest was defeated and is tracking the highway and falling back. And I can I attack the units in the clear terrain. I can score more hits and slow them down and try to catch up with the highway guys. If I can defeat the Burma army before they're retreating to India, then I have in the long run a much easier time to hold Burma, maybe even up to 44. I mean, First we must enter 42. This is the the American terror attacks here against peaceful retreating Japanese. Again, make no sense. I only want peace, but the Chinese-Russian alliance is always out for war. This is my second carrier fleet west of Wellington. So I have a carrier fleet west and east of Wellington, or New Zealand, trying to intercept ships, but so far not really a big score. Some weather effects. Chinese group want to cut my supply lines to my Xi'an army, but I threw some bombs as they are slow. They don't have any road here, so they are anyway slow with 4 to 6 miles per day. And this Chinese group is stronger and have still supplies, so they can kill my airstriker, at least mess up with them. Most other Chinese units have not the flag power or not enough supplies to use their machine guns or flag guns. Yeah, and my invasion fleet is at Cebu, the last stronghold before I will go for Mindanao. I think it's also a full division. I mean, Filipino full division is 100 attack value or something like this. Bombardments, only to keep the Chinese busy. The next attack around the 13th Army, trying to feed. This is at the end he has 3 more or less intact Chinese divisions or corps. I have only 2, so we are open clear terrain, and I have normally air support, but it's 1-to-1. At the end we kill us really nearly 1-to-1. The problem is disabled units can still defend and disabled cannot attack. So I lost here at the end more attack value. I can only hope that the Chinese are out of supplies soon, because I have unlimited supplies more or less in China. That was successful. And this is an attempt to take Suva. And here you can now see what is all here. So this is the broken from Nadi. And if I remember, this is also the base from Nadi. But here is additional equipment. So, but not a lot of equipment, I would say this. But here are some base forces. And I think these base forces are not original. So maybe Xargun bring 2 base forces and some artillery here. And today my attack failed mainly because that dice roll in level 4-3, I'm not so sure. But this attack was not so successful. I mean, again, it's only disabled and not wounded. My units are only a little unlucky. But I must wait 1 or 2 days. I'm waiting for reinforcements because I sent army HQs already in Nadi and need 2 days to arrive. And with HQ support, I can maybe achieve better results. These are only some dot bases. Everywhere dot bases, and there's no equipment left behind. And this is Cebu, so you can see this is Filipino division and the base force. We will see, depending on how much supplies are in Cebu. If there are supplies, the Filipinos can maybe hold a little. This is also a tech. I catch here some retreating Chinese units, but I had problem with my attack value somehow. Not so successful, but at the end I can disable a lot of Chinese and lost not much on my own. So I would say maybe tomorrow. So this turn overall was not really so successful, not changed anything, but I just had the last battle of Bataan, so I would say it's okay. After a very successful day, you can also have this kind of slow little setback turns, and they will not really have a big impact in the long run. Yeah, so casualties are this day a little high for my air losses. This is the retreating Yunnan army killed one of my bombers, and the other one I think is over Singapore. And these two air recons are also Singapore. This is a failure on my side, and the rest is ops losses. And we have here 5 killed and 1 wounded pilot. Ship sunk, there was no sinking sound, there is nothing, so everything is fine. So I have now army loss points of 67 to 3,200. So you can compare this, but I'm January 14th, and so you can always compare this with Jochen, his game. He also played now scenario 1 against Macho, and I think Jochen is much faster, even faster than I approach the game. But I really don't want to risk everything. I think Jochen is a little too aggressive, but maybe he's successful. So my retreat is, I think, now successful. Next turn I will be out of the hex, so there is no attack more from the Chinese side to kick me out, and this means I will come in order out of the hex. The operation was at the end not really successful, but it gives pressure to Xargun, and at the same time the other division was able to take Quelin. And also if the industry is more or less destroyed, but at least I cut the rail. This is the most important for me. I try to catch this one Chinese unit here. Next turn we will have a little more action because my 12th army arrive here, and he is only some Chinese block forces. I think I can defeat them. Then I can try to catch these guys, but they are maybe a little too fast. I also can hopefully... I think this Chinese unit will normally drop out of the hex, but I can at least try. So we have here for sure one battle here next turn. I will also maybe take this dot base now after many days, and I don't know how is the supply situation here. And I can also maybe finish here one more core. Here's a division, so here would be a battle. When Shao I can strike again, maybe a little more luck. This was the battles I think in China is coming. So far everything looks fine. I'm waiting only for the big focus point is of course Xi'an. I only wait one more day to get disruption all over under 10 for the battle, for the heavy hitters. So if I have my divisions here, you can see 1, 2, 3, 4 divisions. I could attack, but I maybe give one more day to get this division is a little burnt out, and this other division is also the 110th division is not in the best shape, but so one day and then it's time to strike again. So overall supply situation is okay. I have supplies, every unit is ready. Burma, my tank and my division was able to catch up. The question is now if the British will leave the hex. Maybe, maybe not, then I must continue the race against North. At the same time, I have other units taking the parallel highway, so that I don't know, if I maybe be faster and I can catch this base before this unit's coming out of the, because this is all jungle. So if the British arrive here, I can use Air Force. At the same time, I try to slow down, because here's the same situation. These units are retreating. And if I slow them down and they are walking on a normal road, not a highway, so where they want to escape? Here's no road connection, so they must take the long way maybe north, but then, we'll see. I still have hope that I can crash the British Rangoon army. They're escaping the Battle of Rangoon. Xargun retreated, but if he's skillful enough and successful in retreating in order, or if his army getting still defeated, I don't know. I also bring in some emergency backup forces here, some Navy Guard units to hold with Kotabu, and they make a counterattack to finish off these British forces and once for all secure Malaya. I also will strike in, I think, in Singapore again. My units are here in a better shape. So I have here the 2 heavy divisions plus this support equipment, and disruption is more or less all against under 10. The fatigue of this division is still a little high, but yeah, you can sleep if you are dead. And nothing really else happened here. This is a little slow after I take Bataan, so I hope I can take Cebu. This is, I think, the last big. There's a base force here in Porta Princesa, and I think here's also one base force. But this is really the last equipment outside of Mindanao. Mindanao have normally a base force here, 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 and in Davao. But they are all smaller. Their main base force, I think, is in Cagayan. So taking this base plus the mountain is the key to control Mindanao. Yeah. The most successful campaign so far is, of course, the capture of all of this New Caledonian. A little setback here in Suva, but I have the 16th Army group here, or HQ, and this guy will give in 2 days, I think, additional bonus with his skill and leadership. So hopefully I can attack, and this is a number 1 unit, normally must carry the battle. Fatigue and disruption is around 20, that is not too high, 1 or 2 days, and then it's maybe down to 15 or 10, then I can strike again. And you can see that this Navy Guard units, they took more or less normally this guy, and yeah, this guy took most of the damage. So this unit is maybe out of action for some time, but it's okay. It's only Navy Guard unit. They are supposed to take undefended or lightly defended bases and secure a position, not really fighting frontline service. So my carriers are searching here, but the problem is I really have not the fuel left for any deep penetration hunting missions, so I must break this now. Because I don't know, maybe Xargun is here at somewhere deep in Tahiti. I cannot. If I reach there, then I'm out of gasoline or fuel. I only must hope that my submarines can find a ship, slow it down, sink it, it's best case, or cripple it, and then I can maybe go out and sink it. Yeah. And the big other question is, my cruisers are on the way back. I was really lucky with the fire, and yeah, system damage is a little high, but again, this is all more or less only light damage, so I can fix it in every port. I don't even need a shipyard for this. This major damage I can still fix with a repair ship. The problem with maybe this stuff, I'm not so sure if the repair ship can fix this kind of equipment, but I would say that doesn't matter. If I don't must go back for a shipyard to fix this kind of small equipment damage. I still have to go to the upgrade in beginning of 43. Latest at that moment I must go back to Japan or a shipyard. But we will see. Maybe these ships are taking other dimensions and I must also return to a shipyard. Nothing really else. More equipment, more supplies are coming. Of course I'm stretched thin. I more or less only have search missions everywhere to scout and see if anything is coming or sneaking on. And at the same time I try to build up Rambul. I'm soon at 7. Once I'm at 8 I can take here a lot of equipment out and engineers out. I won't get this airfield to 8 as soon as possible, that I have a hard fortress city more or less, and then everything will go normally to Nomaya, because here I can also make an airfield of 8. And then I get always double AV support. And the port with 4 is also okay, then I get a port of 7 out of this. So Nomaya, Rabul are the two bigger bases I have to defend to the end. Suva will be a block force. Or a bit, more or less I want to threaten all shipping to Brisbane and Sydney directly, so that all must go to Melbourne, and increase the range and time consumption for the Allies to reinforce Australia. Good. Not really much more to say here. And my overall Japanese industry situation, you can see now. Now the price is going up. So I'm already at 31,000. So I make here 4,000 to 5,000 additional supplies every day piling up in Tokyo. Once I have here the 50,000, I will start to ship out these supplies to locations. And depending on how much damage infrastructure and industry you have in Singapore, Surabaya, Palm Bay, Balikpapan, you will need supplies to ship out. And yes, I also need a ton of supplies normally in Rabul. I'm here down to 35,000 in Rabul. And Truk is more or less also 30,000, less than 20,000 is normally the minimum you need in every main base, so I cannot go there lower. And I really don't have any supplies left I can carry around. I have a lot of supplies in Philippines. Manila, I have 77,000 supplies. Bataan is just so because there's only this army is retreating now. But these supplies are normally used to build up Tarakan. Here I was lucky, I don't need really repair anything. And then maybe Balikpapan. And then the supplies are needed for the upcoming invasion of Java. And first, if I finish all of Java, I can use the supplies maybe for other locations and areas. And the supplies of Singapore, Malaya, I think I have here now, not much here, 13,000 supplies, here 10,000 inside, 10,000. So I don't really have too many supplies in Malaya. I think the supplies are going in Burma, because I have also here the army group Rangoon, and I normally need 20,000 Rangoon, so Yeah, I must send normally as soon as possible supplies to Singapore and Rabaul. And from Rabaul I have to ship them to Nomaya, Luganville, Suva, Tulagi, Port Moresby. All of these bases are consuming supplies and need a build-up. Okay, so nothing else happened. I talked about everything else before, so maybe only short. I don't know if I did this before. My vehicle situation is I increased these numbers a little. I don't know how much more I had. I think up to 20 additional vehicle industry. Because if you allow more or less tanks to upgrade freely, then you have always this. It's always going up, and then something is upgrading and it's fall back. So I always get in my tracker warning that I have too little vehicle points. And engine looking fine. Yeah, never enough, but at least I get them. 240. And you can see that I'm here nearly... If I stop all production of aircraft based on this engine, I could finish my 500 bonus in 1 month. But I am still a little away, so you can see roughly I'm around 10 to 11 in average. So before this factory is requesting engine bonus, I think it's maybe mid of February. We will see. The only other aircraft is really coming close is this Helen. It starts with 15, I think, so I'm at 23rd. But I mean, one factory is not really the big game changer. There are many other Helens are also... Helen is a little more successful. This is always luck. But even if you are 29 to 1, you still don't get A&D. So you must really get a factory at 30 to 0 to get out of... get anything. So all these fasted hitting numbers are nice, but the achieving nothing, you need 30. Well, it's still waste or useless. And you can see this also compared to the Jochen game, that I'm far less aggressive with building up anything else. The only focus is really Oscars. I would say also you need Oscars because you start with far too little modern army fighters. Good, any other questions, always let me know or discuss in the Discord, and see you next time. Take care, bye bye.